Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's get this thing popping. Hey, this is our official theme song.
Let's all go to court. Let's go make some law now. Yeah. Some law.
All right, it's time for Plead the Fifth.
Yes.
And the first person under the microscope would be myself, Orlando. 888-429-0941. The Mini Donut Factory text line is open. The first questions come from the room, so to speak, right?
Yes.
So you guys get to ask me 3 questions. I get 1 pass.
Yep.
I get to plead the fifth on 1 answer, and then we go to the audience for questions too, and I can't use another one.
Right. It's 1 pass for the whole game.
For the entire game, 1 pass.
I'd like to add for the record, I don't like that idea,
It's okay.
but I have to go along with it.
Wait, Davi said he liked that was the main one. He was like, I want to do that.
That's how it just, you get the best questions, man. You don't get to dodge as much. My only question is, how many are we taking from the listeners? How many total questions?
I thought the number was 8.
So 8 total?
Like,
so
it's
3
8
from
total?
us, 5 from the listeners, 1 pass.
Yeah.
So you're going to answer 7 questions. Lucky number 7.
That's a lot of information, man.
You're the one who like came up with this with her, so now you're looking nervous. It's making me throw me off.
Because, that's a lot of questions in only 1 pass.
Good.
Well, see, we figured this out beforehand. If anybody's listening right now, I'm glad we talked about this. I think it'll work out just fine. Don't be so nervous.
He's looking nervous and
I
sweating.
know, and I'm not even going
today. He's not even going today.
O's the guinea pig.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here we go. Who's asking the first question?
Meredith.
Meredith is going first.
Because I still got to think of mine.
Davi is so in charge right now.
Davi's in charge of winging it.
Plead the fifth, winging it. Meredith is first.
Yes. Okay. So I thought about this a lot this weekend because I knew you were up.
Davi did not think about this.
She knew we weren't.
All right. First question. Do you think in the future you have 2 beautiful, lovely daughters? Have you ever thought about having a third and maybe trying for a boy?
Have I ever thought about it? Yes, I've thought about it, but it's hard with 2. Mm-hmm. I'm getting calls now saying, "Can you leave work early because your daughter's throwing up?" And stuff. So it's like, dude, adding a third person to this. As much as I'd like to have a boy, I'm happy with the 2 that I got. They're healthy. They're, So I thought about it, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know. That's about it.
That's good.
That's all I got.
Good job.
Good.
Is that it? Okay. That's the one. The one down. You got
All right, I'll
another one?
go.
Do you feel a little relieved?
No, not at all. I'm like, I'm still in the under the belly of the beast right now.
And you're not getting hit too hard here. I think that was an easy one, but a good one.
Thank
Okay,
you.
see, Mark keeps pressing for what do you want to know? My
Nope.
taxes?
And mine isn't that bad either.
Release your tax return.
Yeah, release we want your birth certificate.
So mine is kind of a 2-parter.
Okay.
Yep.
So do I get a pass or 2?
No,
It's an A-B.
You're going to end up answering this question, trust me. Out of all your freak shows, because you've had a circle of people moving around over your 15 years, 12 years, whatever it's been.
Yeah.
Where do you rate this current freak show, and where do you rate us individually as far as working with you?
Oh,
How
my
well we
God.
do?
That's a good question, Mark.
Do we do a good enough job? That as far as your rating, throw all that into
Take
it.
your time, O.
Take my time. Where do I rank this show among the other ones? We've had different ones, so it's like, I rank this one at the top just because of the contribution level that everybody has. Now, everybody pretty much, through the years has worn different hats and stuff, and some people got motivated halfway through. Some people lost motivation and ended up, moving on, getting fired or whatever, how you want to word it. But I think the crew that's in here now is more so about the show.
Okay.
Everybody is pretty much just grinding towards the show when we come up with stuff, except when Davi doesn't think of his questions.
I work better under pressure.
Yeah, he seems to like to be under the gun or whatever. But no, just as far as the contributions to the show, the stories, the storyline, just as far as Meredith giving of her life, Davi's previous travels, your slum lording it out in South Carolina, all that factors into more personality to the show. So I feel like we give the audience more than previous shows. We were able to do more on the shows before because the rules weren't as stringent and we could come in here and wild out and have a couple porn stars in the room and all that other stuff, so people remember those antics. But just the climate has changed now, and we've been able to keep the entertainment level up with less ability to go off the page. So I think that this room is pretty much like the best contributor.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right, okay. All right. Davi got one.
Yeah, I got one. I just thought of it right now.
What else
Funny
is new?
feeling I'm going to end up passing on Davi.
No,
so I can tell.
it's not a bad one. Okay, so you've been doing mornings, I want to say about 14, 15 years here at Wild. Is that correct?
Yeah, since 01.
Okay.
Since 01.
How much longer do you see yourself continuing the morning show grind, waking up at, 4 something in the morning? And what would be your next move after that?
I don't know, man. I mean, that's kind of all I do. I ain't got nothing else. I got nowhere else to go. What movie is that from?
Got nowhere else to go.
Officer and a Gentleman. All right. But no, I mean, I haven't thought about it. I mean, just as far as us being able to do what we do here, I mean, it's like, it feels right. And I guess when it doesn't feel right, I'll have to do something else because I'm the program director of the station too. So I think they go hand in hand. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like say, yo, I want to bust that night show, and just go do that. So I mean, I think it's pretty much, in pocket that I'm gonna be here, at least until they say I'm not. I think that's pretty much that.
That's awesome. Do you feel a little bit better?
I don't know. No, I don't.
No, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Because
the people,
the listeners.
I know the listeners.
Yeah.
The listeners
That's
are
where
going to be all
the
weird
heat's
and
coming.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like crazy.
You were smart to save your pass.
I saved my pass so I can still use that on the listener side. So what we'll do is we'll load them up. 888-429-0941 is the number. You could text it in or call. Can they do both?
Yeah, I'd love to get phone calls and texts.
Yeah, so if
sure.
you want to call it in, call 888-429-0941. You get to ask me a question. I have 5 more to go.
Yeah, anything.
And we're playing Plead the Fifth, so I'm going to have to plead the fifth or somewhere. I don't know if I have to, though.
You do
No,
not
you
have
don't.
to.
Can you save one?
No, you cannot. It's
No,
just for this
I'm
round.
just asking. I'm saying, wait, I can't ask the question
You
first.
asked, and I let you know right away.
I mean, if okay, so I can't save.
No.
If I go through all these with no passes, I don't get 2 passes next time.
No.
Nope, you don't
That's
save.
just janky
This ain't
right
beat
there.
the freaks. It don't roll over.
That's crazy. All right, we got your questions coming up. 888-429-0941 on the Mini Donut Factory text line. Hold on. All right, it's time for Plead the Fifth, Part 2. This is where we take it to the listeners, 888-429-0941. I don't get to know the questions beforehand, so I don't know how savage they get. You got the pick.
I did, and I'm going to tell you, they're not brutal, but there's a couple that will dig into your skin a little bit.
Ooh,
Okay.
I'm not,
can't
for the first one, I didn't want to come out swinging.
I mean, Jesus Christ, what do you got all this back talk for?
You know that's how I roll.
All right, wait, Mike is on the phone. Do I take him first? Okay,
Yep.
Mike is on the line. Mike, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Plead the Fifth is on. I got the light over my head and ready to be interrogated. What's the question?
All right. If tomorrow you woke up in bed as a female with a dude next to you, how would you react, and what would be the first thing you do?
What?
All right.
If tomorrow I woke up in bed and it was a dude laying next to
No.
me,
Yeah. Yes.
and I was a dude,
No, you're a female.
if
you woke up as the
I'm a
opposite
female and I wake up with a dude laying next to me, I guess I'd ask him his name. I don't understand the question. What would I do?
He's saying
Yeah,
sexually.
what would be the first thing you do?
Oh, what would be the first thing I do
Yes,
as
he's
a
taking it
woman?
to the other
So this
side.
person is my partner,
Right.
And what would be the first thing I would do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every man likes to wake up to a little humming. I mean, if I'm the chick now and I gotta and he's the guy. And that's, I mean, we got a little snooze time. I mean, I hum him a song.
Oh my God.
Is that the answer? All right, okay. Hey, appreciate it, man. I should have passed that one. That wasn't gonna mess with me around the boys. Victoria, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Welcome to Plead the Fifth. You get to ask a question, and I get to answer it or pass.
Oh, okay.
All right, what's your question?
All right. Well, my question is, have you ever had a caller call in and they won something or they was on the phone and told you something and then I don't know, all of a sudden you feel like you like their voice or something. Have you ever hooked up with a caller after you had a conversation with them?
First time caller.
Hooking up with a fan.
Can I ask a question to her?
Sure.
Before I answer, Victoria, is it about Tampa or is it about in radio in general?
In radio in general, like just out of all the years you've done radio.
Honestly, when I was in Tallahassee, I was wrong. I did it a couple times, a few times. I did, like, where somebody called up and I was like, yo, this voice is dope, and blah, blah. It burned me once where I showed up and the person just was, like, not on point at all, and it was, like, a really bad it was a bad situation. It was very bad, because I told him to wear something so I could identify him. And then when I showed up, I actually left.
Oh,
because it was and I felt bad about it, but I told her I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it or whatever, so I didn't show up.
No for me.
Yeah,
it's a no for me, dog.
Nah, it wasn't a good look. But I got to tell you, like, as far as like, yeah, I mean, like, it's happened. It's happened, but it's not happened to like in a minute. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that I know everybody ain't really what their voice portrays,
Truth.
That's the warning that they give you when you get in radio. Now they're like, dog, don't do it. Don't do it.
Usually doesn't match.
That's that catfish voiceover version or something.
Yeah. And then I saw this movie where the girls who you call in for was like all like in muumuus and all this stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's not a good look. So plus people think I got a good voice and I don't have abs, so it don't work that way. All right, Victoria, I appreciate it. Let's see here. Megan is next up. Megan, how you doing?
Hey, Orlando.
Hey, girl, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. We're playing Plead the Fifth, so I'm a little nervous right here. You got a question for me?
I do. First off, I want to point out, I've been listening since the very beginning. I just want to let you know that. My question to you is, what is your most memorable moment since you've been 98.7?
Man, since we've been 98.7, my most memorable moment would probably be talking to the president on the air, just because that's not really something that the freak show is really was like built for. We was built for like porn stars and fart jokes and stuff like that. So to get somebody who's trying to be the president of the United States to come and talk to us because they valued our audience, that was like a big look. A really big look for me. And then going to Haiti also after the devastation, because I got a chance to report back to all of our like 46 radio stations in the statewide to tell them what was going on. So that was a big look too. So I mean, yeah, that was an easy one. I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, sweetie.
No problem.
All right, let's see. I got two more.
You rolling right through these things.
I mean, no, but it's like they're that hard. I mean, this just gives you like a background story, but it's not like as Mark had me nervous.
I mean, if you want hard, I can start reading some off the text.
I mean, do you want me to?
Go ahead. No. There's two left.
Take these.
Yep. Take the.
Okay. Yep. This is name's Matthew. Matthew, hey.
Hello.
Hey, Matthew.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Doing great, Orlando. How you doing?
Pretty good. What's up? What's your question for Plead the Fifth?
My first question is, what's your favorite fetish?
My favorite fetish? Done to or doing? Like performing or being performed? What'd you say?
Huh? I said, you want to pick one each? Go right ahead.
My favorite fetish doing is probably,
I don't know if I want to hear this.
I mean, I don't know if it's officially a fetish, but like like the ear joint, like being up around the ear and kind of like kissing and licking the ear and getting all like, because if you breathe heavy on somebody's ear, that'll just put them in a moment.
It's a sensitive area.
I like that. I don't like to be like slobbing all over somebody's ear because that's nasty. But like breathing. But honestly, I mean. The ones, I like my nipple game. Dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? If somebody gonna mess around and they gonna puck me out a song, blang, 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 blang. You know what I mean? Like I like the nipples play with. If you gonna breathe on them, whatever.
A gentle flick.
Yeah, like a little tongue, like a
butterfly flick.
That's a nice one right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Wow.
Hey, Orlando.
Hey, yeah, man.
Hey, y'all. That's a little on a somber note, but our barber Kim. I'm her best friend, but her brother Robert's in the hospital, man. He's in critical ICU, so I know you want to know, but I don't know.
I did not know that, man. I'm going to have to reach out to Kim. I didn't know that, man. I'm going to definitely send a prayer up for him because Robert's a good guy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.
Appreciate that, man. Thanks. Wow, that sucks. All right, let's see. And this is the fifth one?
Yep.
Okay. Keith, go shoot away. You're the next one on Plead the Fifth.
Hey.
Yeah, we can hear you. What's popping?
All right. Well, I wanted to ask you. I know you're divorced now, and I always see you on like IG with your ex-wife. So I want to know what happened in your marriage.
What happened in the marriage? Wow. And I still got to pass.
You can pass.
I mean, honestly, what happened in the marriage was I was like definitely, all about being DJ at Wild 98.7, 94.1. And so if you know the past, like we were always in the clubs, we were always out. And when I had a kid, I went back to work, and she was a new mom who was staying home and was like, what do you mean you got to work? And that was the big thing. That was like the fracture. And then the fact that, you know, there was a lot of distrust because I was out late, and I went back to my life that was the DJ life, and that wasn't really set up to be like, you know, married. And so there was a lot of kind of, because of that distrust, that was, man. Because of that distrust, there was a lot of infamous things that were done because, you know, when somebody don't trust you or somebody thinks that you're not all in, it just, you know, it makes a lot of things happen, and we just ended up having to get divorced. It was probably the best, the worst loss, the hardest loss that I had to go through because I had always imagined it going different, but because I was like locked in and making this station work, that, you know, I didn't feel I had a choice because I was the breadwinner. So I had to keep this thing going, and thought that it was being understood, but, you know, it didn't end up that way. But everything is good now. I mean, you know, we just built a house together. Like, you know, I mean, we, you know, raise our children together. You know, the team is back together and everything. So, you know, it's not a bad look, but that was definitely a hard time because, you know, I had to I was saying goodnight to my kids and not in the same house, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's the kid and caboodle, the whole story right there. All right, bro?
All right.
Oh.
Hey, man, good job, bro.
You did it.
How does it feel?
I don't feel good. What the hell just happened up in here?